Everything's set. I know it's recording, but last time it didn't start until like 30 seconds after, so let's let 30 seconds go by. No one's online right now anyway, so you should be good. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jeremiah was the bullfrog. Was a good friend of mine. Never understood a single word he said. Act. Am I live again? Yes, I am BookTube Games finale. Live coverage from Project Kyle. I almost said my full name there. That wouldn't have been good. Don't want that getting on the internet. Okay, so we got Bookhaven. Hey Kim, how you doing? We got Bookhaven here with us. And at the moment, you're the only one watching. However, a few people said they were going to watch, so don't worry. More people will come. Icy Reads, how you doing again? Good to see you, my old battle buddy. So, to start out, I'm going to wait a little bit for people to log on before we start asking questions. I had a request to continue my reading of my story by Bookhaven. So, I'm going to start out with that because she can only be on here for a little bit. But after that, we're going to open this up to more about the BookTube games and what we've all accomplished during this 1 month period. And let me say, it was a fun ride. So, I'm going to start with Chapter 2, Nerd. This might be best so my voice doesn't get ruined for reading. This chapter's a little less intense than the first one, less action-packed, and more of explaining the rivalry between Nerd and Fun Rhyme indeed. Yes, thank you, Icy Reads. Between Nerd and Dr. Crimson and how it all started. Hey, I got 4 viewers online already. Thank you. So I'll start reading this. This will allow people to get on, and when I'm done, we will open it up to all of you, and we will get to chat about the BookTube games. So, Chapter 2, Nerd. I have to take these off and reveal my secret identity. Dr. Crimson continued to close in, his eyes heavily focused on Sophia's position. Things looked grim, but the mysterious man had timed everything perfectly, and he betrayed only a little fear in his voice as he spoke into his device. Away team to Ironheart! 2 to beam up! Now! Crimson was now only 3 feet away from them, and had lunged forward in an attempt to reach them before either could be transported. In a courageous move, the mysterious man turned his back towards Crimson, putting his body in between Sophia and Crimson's blade. I just noticed a spelling error. I will need to fix that. That's not okay, Kyle. Not okay. Moving on. This told Sophia that he was indeed more interested in protecting her than himself. However, the move was unnecessary, as a flow of energy surrounded them both. White light seemed to cover the 2 of them, and a weightless feeling soon followed. The light then faded, and thankfully both individuals were now in a new location. The man quickly put her down, ripped off his night vision goggles, and ran towards the set of stairs leading upwards, dropping his goggles next to Sophia in the process. Sophia sat on the ground, attempting to process everything that had just happened to her. Her eyes were still red and puffy from all the crying she had done earlier, and she was still weighted down by shock and heartache due to what had just taken place. She was in the dark as to what had happened between Dr. Crimson and the mysterious man, but it was evident that the 2 had a deep-seated grudge against each other, and somehow her being kidnapped had ignited it. It was powerful, even a little scary. Still, she felt a level of gratitude to the man who had just risked his life to save her, even if he did look like a goober. Sophia attempted to chuckle at the thought of the appearance of her hero, but realized she couldn't, as the muzzle was still forcing her mouth shut. She wanted it off, and wanted it off now. So she picked herself up and followed the man up to the main deck. The starship began to shake, and a loud warp sound could be heard, giving her the impression that they had just entered hyperspace. Upon gaining her footing, Sophia looked ahead and noticed a doorway where she could finally hear the man's voice. She walked towards it, hoping she could get some answers. The door automatically opened, and she was easily able to walk through. So she was now in the long hallway that led to another door. The room was lit by a long row of lights that were located in either side of the floor. She knew the ship she was in. It was a J2 Dragon class spacecraft, which had been extinct for years due to the fall of the Zakara family. Somehow, this man had gotten his hands on one which told her that he had connections with the upper class. Sophia made her way down the long hallway, her footsteps echoing through the metal room with each step she took. When she finally reached the door at the end, it opened automatically, revealing what was on the other side. Sure enough, she was on the bridge of the small spacecraft. The man was sitting on the pilot seat, chomping on a bag of cheese puffs. She looked around the room and noticed bags of chips and empty soda cans covering the entire bridge. It was a pigsty, and clearly the man didn't care. It was evident that he was aware she was in the room, as he spoke to her with half-chewed cheese puffs still rolling around in his mouth. "That was quite a close call, wasn't it? A second later and you would have been missing your right arm at the very least. Good thing I was there to get you out of that mess, eh?" Sophia was unable to respond. The man swallowed what was in his mouth and tried to talk to her a little bit more seriously than before. "I was just kidding. What he tried to do to you, it was horrible. I'm just grateful that I was able to stop him before it was too late. I wasn't able to do so with him in the past. I'm glad I was at least able to save one life compared to the thousands that he slaughtered." Sophia was still unable to respond. The man was concerned, and he quickly turned around to face Sophia. Cheese puff crumbs covered his shirt and pants and lab coat. "Look, I know I'm not a charmer by any means, but you could at least..." Suddenly, the man noticed the muzzle around Sophia's jaw. A panicked look covered his face, and he reached into his lab coat and pulled out what looked like some sort of key. He shouted. Sorry, so sorry. That was very insensitive of me. Please hold still. I'll get that off you." The man placed the key in one of the muzzle slots. The muzzle unhinged, and Sophia was finally free to speak. She rubbed her jawline with both her hands. A sudden jolt of pain shot through her jaw. She sharply inhaled through her teeth and swiftly retracted her hands. The muzzle was strapped so tight that it had bruised the lower part of her face. Sophia was not thrilled about this, but she was relieved that the stupid thing was finally off her. The man noticed and concern could be seen in his eyes as he examined the bruises. But after noticing that Sophia was attempting to hide her face, his eyes diverted from the bruises to her. She was very self-conscious of how she looked, especially right now, and he seemed to notice. Yet he didn't seem to know how to respond. So he simply put the key back in his pocket, smiled, and continued talking to her like nothing had happened. "Welcome aboard, my friend. Don't worry about that mean old doctor. He's been trying to find me for the last year. The only way he will ever see me is if I come to him. But I guess that's not important right now. What is important is you. Obviously, you had to be special for him to build an operating room underground just to operate on you. Which makes me feel very curious as to who you are. What is your name? Where do you come from? Why was Dr. Crimson so obsessed with dissecting you?" Sophia's mind was still catching up to all the talking this man was doing, so there was a pause in her response. However, it seemed like through all the scattered words, He simply wanted to know who she was and reassure her that she was safe. She felt that this was very sweet of him, even if his methods of expressing it were primitive at best. She took a deep breath and answered him with a soft, timid voice. My name is Sophia Nelson. I am a warrior from the VTC, or I was. Vincent Taylor didn't trust me, and I had to leave, fearful that he would set up a court-martial and have me executed for a crime he staged. It was a common practice against warriors that either advanced in rank too quickly or simply made him paranoid. So I decided to step down, and I asked if they would cut me free. Vincent thankfully was relieved that I wanted out and accepted my request. Since then, I've been searching the galaxy for work and traveled to the planet Zentar. I was hoping to get a job as a simple caretaker. However, I was distracted by him. Sadness seemed to cover the man's face at Sophia's response. It was evident that he knew Dr. Crimson all too well, and that he was not the first girl he had deceived or tried to kill. It was troubling him greatly, and Sophia knew he was lost in thought. Sophia took a deep breath and gently grabbed the man's hands, which were starting to tremble. I didn't have a chance with that stupid muzzle locked around my jaw, Sophia started. So now that I have the chance, I just wanted to thank you for saving my life. That was a very noble thing for you to do for me. But goodness, I was greatly impressed with how swiftly you were able to dodge Crimson's attacks. I've seen him with a blade before, and he's insanely good. As an ex-warrior, I want you to know that I am deeply impressed, and I can tell you that I do not impress easily. The man instantly snapped out of his little phase of sadness. A huge smile covered his face, and he spoke so quickly and so loudly that Sophia was startled at his change in attitude. Of course! Why would I not help such a nice girl like you? It was my honor. Sophia let go of his hands and paused again, as she needed a moment to get her bearings. But this man seemed to understand her need for a little time to respond. It was like he expected it, so she didn't feel rushed to speak, which was nice considering how awkward this situation was becoming. But there was one question she still needed an answer to, one that she would have asked earlier in their conversation, but had forgotten given the wild roller coaster ride she had been through. But it was time nonetheless, and Sophia finally asked the question that, unknown to her, would change her life forever. What is your name? Certainly I must know the name of the man who saved my life. The man gave her a dorky grin. My name is irrelevant. Just call me Nerd, Supreme Human Intelligence, and sole human survivor of the organization known as Deep Cosmos. Sophia laughed at his response and was clearly amused. Nerd? You had all the names to pick from, and you picked Nerd? I felt it was fitting, Nerd responded. I'm smart, witty, deep, but not much of a social butterfly, as you can see by the way I talk and converse with others. Besides, it was a code name of the former agent who used to own this starship. Nerd began to lose focus again. The mention of the former ship's owner had saddened him, but he was fighting it with everything he had. This was another puzzle piece to her, Hero's backstory. It wasn't Nerd who had originally owned the spacecraft. Obviously, he was close to someone who had connections. This didn't mean much at the moment, but if she had learned any more about him, maybe it would give her some more insight into who he was. Now Sophia was very intrigued. There was a lot going on within this strange man, and although he was socially awkward, he seemed to care about others a lot. He seemed to care about her a lot, even though they had just met that day. Nerd regained his focus. He felt that it was best to change the subject. He didn't want to have a meltdown in front of his new guest like he did the last time. This is where the third person, is it omniscient? I can't remember the word. I tend to bounce into both characters' heads, as you can see. So just keep that in mind as I'm reading. Anyways, back to the book. So, he started, you wanted to be a caretaker. I'm quite intrigued that you would go from a warrior to someone who preserves life. We kind of need more people like that nowadays. I suppose so, Sophia responded. I was hoping that connecting with nature would help me to recover. Recover? He asked. Yeah, it's a long story. Can I ask you a question? Shoot! Are you a doctor? You carry yourself like one. I am indeed. I do more research than attending patients. But I can prescribe medication, diagnose illnesses, and I've been trained to be a therapist if need be. I have always felt safe around doctors. I don't know why, but I always have. But today I saw one attempt to do something that was completely inhumane. You seem to know Dr. Crimson well, obviously better than I did. I just want to know why he would do that to me. Why would he try to hurt me? I've never tried to hurt him. Nerd took a deep breath and answered Sophia's question the same way he did to the others before her, who had escaped from Crimson's clutches. Dr. Crimson suffers from a medical condition known as antisocial personality disorder. Most of humanity recognize those with this disorder as psychopaths, someone who does not have the capability to feel compassion or remorse. In fact, with the exception of emotions that run on adrenaline and dopamine, he really can't feel emotion at all. Still, he is a master at mimicking human emotion, especially if someone has something he wants, and can appear to be a perfect angel, a gentle-natured man who loves everyone. Believe me, as a friend I fell for it too, but when he gets bored with you, or if you don't see eye to eye with his twisted view of human life, that angel shuts off, and a cold, empty killing machine takes his place. One that longs to devour any trace of light that can be found in this galaxy. I'm sorry, Sophia. I really am. I was able to save you from the physical damage, but knowing him, he attempted to cut more deeply than his literal blade ever could. Sophia suddenly felt something break inside her. She wasn't at all ready to reveal her secrets or insecurities to a man she had just met, especially after what had just happened with Crimson. It didn't matter if Nerd was a doctor, or if he had saved his life, if he had saved her life. She didn't want to be that vulnerable again. But the cold state of shock was starting to wear off, and reality was rearing its ugly head. Despite her desperate attempts to keep her emotions to herself, Sophia felt her grip on control slip as the words and emotions spilled out without let-up. He ripped open everything, Sophia shouted as her emotions came to life. My childhood, my teen years, all the pain and disappointment I went through, it's all been brought back to me. He reminded me how worthless I am, how unloved I am. No one loves me, and for a moment I thought he did. I was wrong. You're not worthless, Sophia, he said to her. I have known you for precisely 1 hour and 9.4 seconds, and even I can see you have many qualities that make you valuable. But that's not how I feel, Sophia responded. He used me, and I can't get that out of my head. Let me guess. You were his one true love, an angel in his eyes, a glimmer of light in a dark reality, a gift, and one he would cherish with his life. Then, when his low show was over, you were worthless, beyond hope, a disappointment that would be better off dead, and he used that twisted logic to justify what he was about to do to you. Yes, Sophia responded. That is exactly what he said, and what he did. Nerd closed his eyes and began flicking his fingers into his chest like he was typing. He started mumbling and was again lost in thought. Sophia was at least touched that Crimson's actions against her upset him, but she was also a little creeped out, as her savior seemed to be a little off. He was far from normal, and although he showed extreme intelligence, he was really struggling to carry a normal conversation with her. Everything had to be advanced, intense, or quirky. Even the simplest of things were complicated, and it made her feel a little uncomfortable at times. She didn't know why she trusted him so quickly and opened up to him after knowing him for only an hour. It was like he had abilities normal humans just didn't have. It was beautiful, yet very unsettling. While all this was going through Sophia's head, the silence was broken as Nerd began to speak again. "Sophia," he continued, "why don't I show you to your room? It's been a rough day, and I think we both need some time to ourselves. Just tell me where you need to go, and I will make sure to take you there. I will have to make a stop before I drop you off. After that, I'll make sure to set you free. Remember, you're not a prisoner here. No one is ever a prisoner here. Not on my ship. Not ever." Sophia let out a sigh. She began to tear up again as her current situation was brought to mind. "I have nowhere to go," she said to him. "I'm not safe on Zentar, and I have nothing on my homeworld, Zakara, especially with what's happening there right now. My parents disowned me, and every friend I've ever had abandoned me. You can drop me off wherever you wish. I have no home to return to." Nerd seemed to be drawn into Sophia's story. He removed his glasses, giving Sophia a clear view of his hazy blue eyes. They were focused on her, which was unusual considering how he had struggled to make eye contact before. "You're alone," he said to her in a very calm, yet saddened voice. "Yes," Sophia responded. "I am alone. I'm the one that no one wants in their life, and no one ever will." Nerd let out a huge sigh. He maintained eye contact, but this time in a way that was not creepy. It was clear that he understood what she was feeling, even though he was unable to put it into words. It was there, buried underneath his geeky shell. He closed his eyes and rubbed his forehead, grimacing before seeming to come to a temporary solution with a slight nod. I need time to think this through. Please go upstairs into the top section of the ship. This room is small, but it contains everything you will need. Try to rest up. You're going to need it." Sophia could not think of a response, so she didn't say anything. She simply nodded her head and left the bridge. She walked through the long hallway, entered the main dock, and made her way upstairs until she reached the room Nerd had asked her to go into. It was indeed small, but there was food along with a refrigerator full of drinks. There was a TV with a game console plugged into it. There was a sleeping bag on the floor, and next to it was what looked like a tablet. Sophia wasn't in the mood to eat or drink. She was very depressed and still shaken over everything that had happened, but she figured it would at least keep her mind active enough to keep it off Dr. Crimson. She sat on the sleeping bag, picked up the tablet, and turned it on. There was no password, so she had no problem getting the main screen. There were many apps on it: games, news, social media, photos, and Galactic Live Stream, the #1 video streaming site in the galaxy. "I guess I can binge watch my favorite shows," she thought to herself, "at least until Nerd finds me a new home." She crawled under a sleeping bag and held the device upward. She was about to view the movies and videos on Galactic Livestream when she noticed that someone had sent a text to her device. It wasn't in her nature to snoop. However, her curiosity got the better of her. She pressed the message and was stunned when a video popped up. She let out a yelp at the sight that appeared in front of her. A strange creature wearing a double-breasted gray suit and a gray fedora was looking back at her. It wouldn't have been so frightening if it wasn't for the fact that the creature's face was simply one giant eyeball, bloodshot and angry-looking. The creature began to speak. It didn't take long for Sophia to realize that the creature was not evil at all. In fact, the message was pre-recorded, intended for her. It was about Nerd, and the creature was speaking about him as a concerned friend. Sophia listened to every word. eager to hear what this creature had to say. "Greetings, young human. I am known as the Observer. If you are receiving this message, then Nerd's little disobedience to his orders paid off. He was able to save you from the second most wanted man on the Deep Cosmos criminal list, Dr. Crimson. First, I want to offer my condolences, because I know how much pain that man can inflict on others. I know how much pain he inflicted on Nerd, and it broke my heart to watch. The kid has done well filling the shoes of the former legend, and living up to our expectations as Aiden's successor. But it's hard, as the kid had tried. He is still very much lost. Crimson messed him up good, and used his mask as a means to incriminate Nerd. Yes, you are on the starship of the most wanted criminal in the galactic government. Nerd's real name is David Bell. He is the one who was found guilty on the Cosmic 5 tragedy of illegal human experimentation." Sophia felt her joints lock up as her heart accelerated. She had heard about David Bell in the Galactic Times, and learned what he had done to people. Thousands were mutilated against their will, and many of them died within the laboratory's walls. The papers were only able to report a small fraction of the things that he had done, but the small fraction of what was revealed was enough to spread fear and terror throughout the galaxy. She began trembling, realizing that she had simply switched hands from one psychopath to the other. I know you probably feel scared right now. That was the understatement of the year, but I can reassure you that you have no reason to be. David did not kill those people. That has been proven. Dr. Crimson killed those people, and paid off the judges to support his story. David took the fall, Crimson got away with murder, and he continues to murder down to this very day. Now that I have revealed the truth, I have a favor to ask of you, that may decide whether this galaxy survives or not. We need David if we're going to survive the things that are about to come. As you know, David Bell is a hated man. That is why he hides behind his glasses and nerdy exterior. It's built up in him over the last year, and although I am proud of the progress he has made as an agent, I fear that this man is at the end of his rope. It's going to get worse now, considering he disobeyed the Central Commander's orders not to get involved with Dr. Crimson. To put it mildly, he may have sacrificed his future in Deep Cosmos for you. Obviously, your life was more important to him than his own. And the amazing thing about it is, he never even knew you. He never even knew who you were. Yet he sacrificed everything to save you. That is the kind of man I've grown to know and love. The man who would sacrifice everything to save the life of a stranger. And now, I want you to do the same. I beg you to do the same. I want you to save the one person he is incapable of saving. I want you to help the one person he could never upbuild, encourage, or protect. Sophia, I want you to save David Bell. He is the only source of light this galaxy has to offer. Please, please save David Bell. The video message ended, and Sophia felt all her emotions fade away. She had been on such an emotional roller coaster ride that day, and finally it had become too much for her heart to handle. She no longer knew who to trust, for it seemed that everyone who promised to take care of her was eager to stab her in the back as soon as she let her guard down. She wanted to believe what the Observer was saying. She wanted to believe that David was framed by the same man who tried to take her life. At least then she could know her life wasn't still in danger. But could she really trust the words of a creature she had never met? Could she believe that a man she had feared for a good year was just an innocent victim, incriminated by someone who was far worse? She didn't know, and her mind couldn't handle it right now. Sophia crawled further into her sleeping bag and pulled it over her face. Her body and mind had enough, and it shut down for the rest of the night. She faded away into a dream, a faraway place, a reality where she could escape from the grim existence she was trapped in. So that's chapter 2. And it took me almost a half an hour to do that. But thank you for staying with me. That was for you, Kim. You wanted it. So that's chapter 2. That's probably the last one I will do because I don't want to give away too much of the book. But yeah, the only mistake I made, which I noticed, is in books, sometimes to get the sentences more closer together, you have to have a break in between each word. And somehow the break got moved into the middle of the page rather than from right to left, if that makes any sense. So I'll be fixing that. But other than that, everything looked pretty good. So yeah, thank you everyone for staying with me on this. Let's see if there's been any comments. Top chat. Bookhaven. There was much rejoicing. Okay, so now that that's over, we got 30 minutes into this, so let's finish the next 30 minutes. Does anyone have any questions, first of all, to ask about the BookTube games? If no questions are asked, it's loading. If no questions are asked, I'll start reading off the scores to find out what people got. Copy of the BookTube. Okay, BookTube page tractor. Thank you. That was great. 14 pages. I read along in the book. Last bit to include in the game. Wait a minute. This never keeps... There you go. Last bit to include in the game pages. Right. Nice, Kim. You did well. I didn't think of that. I wonder if I can count those pages. I should be able to, although I already read it. Did you read Crooked Kingdom? No, I never got through Almost Normal, so I'm still going to read Crooked Kingdom, so I will probably get to that maybe next month or the month after. But first I need to finish Almost Normal, and then next on the list is Crooked Kingdom. You can definitely count them. Let's do it. Let's count those. So I'm still getting points for Team Kitterdam. I'm still getting points for Team Kitterdam. I think we've lost already, though, so... and I will take the loss with grace. So right now, as the scores stand, unless any miracle happens, it's going to come down to either Camp Half-Blood, the Greek mythology people, or Team Hogwarts. And Camp Half-Blood is ahead at 137, Team Hogwarts at 136. And in third place right now, in third place is a battle between Team Neverland and Team Kitterdam. Team Neverland has 128.87, and Team Kitterdam has 128.10. And in last place, sorry, Kim, but your team is in last. Team Derry, Maine has 121 points. Yep, Derry, Maine is in last. So at least Team Kitterdam didn't come in last, so I'm happy for that. So it could be worse. And our rival was kind of Team Neverland, so if we can beat Team Neverland, I would be happy. Woohoo, we're in third. Yes, that's right. Sorry, Kim. Sorry to ruin your day. Hey, who knows? Maybe there can be a comeback. Hey, we did pretty dang good, though we have only been last in the past week or so. It's very true. Team Derry had a strong beginning. I will give them that. We switched places a lot. I mean, Camp Half-Blood was kind of in the lead the entire time, except for one day when Team Kitterdam actually took first for a little bit. But as it stands, I think it's either going to be Half-Blood or Hogwarts. So out of those two, I think I want to see Half-Blood win. They've done good the whole time. They've won with class. They've lost with class. Let them take it. But hey, I'm still holding out that a miracle might happen and Kitterdam will come around. Gotta do this for the criminals, man. Smooth criminals. I'm rooting for... Oh, it's gone. Oh, no, there it is. Top chats. I still haven't put in my page count for today yet either. I'm trying to finish my books before I have an hour. Yeah. No, I haven't put my page counts in either. And I actually had a good day today because they never got back to me about the scavenger hunt. I definitely found the emoji. I'm 100% sure of it. So I'm putting in 200 pages. If I'm wrong and I broke the rules, so sue me. But yeah, I did find the emoji, so I think that's 200 pages for us. Did you have a favorite read this month? Ooh, that is good. Good question. Let me think. I read two mangas. I started reading Almost Normal, Saw Kill Girls, which I did not like. And the two. I also read the two. Oh, I also read When Stars Burn Out by Anna Vera, and I read the two Renegades thing. So if you're in the US, you have a whole day left. I actually only have 25 minutes left because I'm on the East Coast. If you're on the West Coast, you have more time left. So yeah, we still have a little bit of time left, and we're just trying to get as many pages in as we can to finish this off. It's going to be close between first and second and third and fourth. Kyle can't count. Yeah, my favorite, I think, of this week, of this month, would probably be Renegades, the first one. It was very fun. It wasn't the best book of all time, but it was just such a fun read that I enjoyed it. And I read it on Audible. I feel both voice actors did very well, and I was happy with it. So, I got into Truly Devious a bit, but I haven't gotten into it yet. It's brilliant, I'll give it that. But it's just very hard to get into. And I think I've kind of worn myself out through all this reading. My Goodreads goal is taking it pretty good. So that was one of my favorites. I'm also enjoying both Ruby mangas, and I also really enjoyed When Stars Burn Out by Anna Vera. I thought that was very creepy and very well done. So yeah, a lot of books. None of them made 5 stars. So there was no like memorable book for me, but definitely some good solid books this week. Other than Saw Kill Girls, I think all the rest were good. Top chat. It ends March 1st, though. Oh, wait, is it the final day of March 1st? I thought it ended at the beginning of March 1st. I think it does, because it's in February. Is Truly Devious something you are listening to on Audible? Yes, I am on Audible. It was a bit, well, actually, it wasn't too big of a book. I have a lot of credits left, so I figured that would be the best way to go. The voice actor is okay. When she does a guy's voice, it's hysterical, which I've heard vice versa on that too. So sometimes a guy will do a girl's voice, and it's like, cringeworthy. But she does a pretty decent job at the end of March 1st, because on Twitter it says challenge goes on for Feb 20 to March 1st. I would check with everyone on that because I don't think that's the case. But I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, hey, I'll take another day to get some more pages in. But I would check with that because I think it ends at midnight. And if it didn't, then hey, I should have done this video tomorrow. So my video froze. I didn't see if you had a favorite book. What was it? Renegades, I think, was my favorite this week. That is a toss-up between Renegades and When Stars Burn Out, and the two Ruby mangas because I love those. The Blake manga, Weiss has always been my favorite character, but I think I like the manga written by Blake a little better. It was more diverse, whereas all the short stories for Weiss were kind of the same. And Weiss actually has a shining moment in the Blake story at the very beginning, so I won't give any spoilers, but it was very well done. But yes, Crooked Kingdom is something I'm really looking forward to, so I will definitely get to that soon. What was your favorite aspect of the readathon? Of this readathon? The book, are you talking about the games, the actual games? Because if it's the games, my favorite part, I think, of the BookTube games was just getting everyone together to compete in this. Hold on a second. Just the fact that so many people were into it, and my channel almost doubled in followers from this, so that was pretty cool. People got to do videos. It was really a big event that pretty much anyone could participate in. So yeah, that I liked. It got me to be more determined about my reading. Fun fact, and I don't like to brag, but I'm going to brag right now because I'm probably not going to be able to say this any other month. I made sure I got a few pages per day. There was not one day that I got 0 pages. So, although my score was kind of low, I can't say that I did an amazing job. I was at least consistent. Right, I've met so many people via Discord and Twitter, and it's awesome. Myona and the other host did such an awesome job. Myona really worked hard on this. I give her a lot of credit. Halfway through Six of Crows now, and someone posted a spoiler about Crooked Kingdom on Twitter today. No, oh my goodness. I am so glad I didn't see that. Oh, I hate it when people do that. I am terrified about Crooked Kingdom. Let's just say that. So I'm glad I didn't see it, because I'm really anxious to find out what happens next. Oh no, that's the worst. Yes, it is the worst. So yeah, looking forward to Crooked Kingdom, but I need to get through Almost Normal, and I think in order to do that, I need to take a break from reading and then get back into reading. I'm planning to read Six of Crows soon. I'm surprised at how many people still haven't read it yet, because it's been the biggest book out there, but there's still a lot of people who haven't read Six of Crows. I'm really hoping that everyone stays in touch. It was fun to connect with everyone, especially my team. It was a fun experience. I will say that very much. I'm still going to be posting videos. I've followed a bunch of other BookTube accounts on YouTube, so yeah, we'll still see each other quite a bit. And also, there's going to be another one, I think, in 6 months. So this won't be the final goodbye. All the big BookTube players will make a return. Don't you worry about that. I haven't read it yet. I'm not into fantasy. I've heard a lot of good things about them, so maybe I'll go get it sometime. I know I suck. I'm going to do a buddy read for it, though. And yes, I listened. I did not say you suck. Icy reads. I just said it's surprising that, because there's a lot of people who haven't read it yet. In Geekus Books, one thing I will say is it's not like a traditional fantasy. In fact, I was very surprised that it was fantasy until I found out that some of them were like the Grisha, they were fantasy creatures, so that kind of gave it away. And somebody else in another scene mentioned mermaids. But other than that, it was a very unique book. That's why it's so popular. No one's ever written anything like it before. I mean, just having 6 of the worst criminals team up together to save the world, that kind of gives you the idea of where it's going. So yeah, let's look at some of our scores. So now it's time for public humiliation. We're going to read some of your scores live here. I have to get going and drive home. Thanks again for doing another reading, Kyle. Have a great night, everyone. Bye, Kim. Kim at Bookhaven. If any of you don't know her, give her a follow. She has a very consistent account. She's very passionate about books, and I enjoy her videos. So I would recommend Bookhaven to all you guys. Icy Reach. The Grista trilogy was bombed, so I'm looking forward to getting back into the work. Okay, you got me beat there. I have not read the Grisha trilogy. So I think that happened, was it before the events of Six of Crows or after? I'm not sure. I just know I haven't read the Grisha trilogy, but I am definitely into Six of Crows. Okay, time for public humiliation. Where is it? Haha, sheets. Okay. So, I'm going to put in my pages because I don't think I'm getting any more. Okay, so for Deep Cosmos, since I read it, that's, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pages. Oh, wait a minute. No, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 pages. Read 2 of this, so 15, 16, 17, plus the 50 I got from the manga. 50 plus 17 is 67. plus the 200 I got for the challenge, so that's 267. That's a pretty decent way to go out. I'm happy with that. So Kitterdam, 267. $267. That leaves me with the final score of 2,980. Literally 20 pages under my 3,000 goal. Oh no. Missed it by that much. Okay, so Icy Reach, you're on Team Neverland, right? Hot dog, that's more than I got. My total right now is 3,051. I might read a little bit tonight, though. You beat me by just a bit. Nice. So how much did you get, Icy Reads? Do you care to tell us, or should I find you on the stat page and read it in front of you? Read it in front of everyone. All two of you. Because we lost Kim. Neverland. You can find me. Okay. Let's see. Icy Reads. Icy Reads. I don't feel like pulling it up. Is your name on this, Icy Reads? Or do you have a different name? Icy Reads. Icy Reads. Aha, found you. Thank you. Yeah, it is highlighted in blue. Mine is blood red. 1,843. That still was not bad. I think anyone who broke 1,000 did good. I mean, we got people here with 56. Somebody got 0. That needs to really be taken off. And I think that will happen. So it will be interesting to see, like, with stat correction, because I know we had a lot of people on Kitterdam who didn't regularly update their pages. So I'm interested to see if people like that get removed. In which case we could still very much be in it at that point. So, you know, this is like down to the wire right now, but I think there's going to be more to it. I do need to check your woohoo go me. Yeah, no, you did good. You did good. You broke 1,000. That's good. That means you contributed to your team. Okay, for totals, this is where things get interesting. Team Kitterdam is in first. We had the bigger team, so that was normal. Hogwarts is in second. Half-Blood is in third. That was very good considering you had the second smallest team. Neverland is in fourth. And last is Dairy Maine. They had the smallest team. That was expected. But of course, that means absolutely nothing because it's going to come down to average. Well, what an insane plot twist that was! Team Neverland is now at 129. So, have any of you heard about this random menace who's been messing with people's scores online? It's like we already have a super BookTube Games villain right now who's cheating. I don't know what team it's on, like what person it is. I think it's only one person, because everybody else has been very high class about this. They haven't caused much trouble, but there has been like a few incidences where people's scores have been messed with. I thought at first that it was cheating is bad, don't do it. Thank you. Yes, plain and simple. Just don't do it. Don't do it. I mean, I at first was open that it may have just been a technical glitch. I think it is one person, maybe two. You can see the edits when exactly they strike. Well, that's good. So there's ways of catching them. Yeah, I didn't really understand it. I mean, I know we all want to win, but I mean, this is the BookTube games, man. This isn't really like a national championship or anything. We're here to have fun. We're here to contribute. So just don't cheat, guys. Just don't cheat. But I wanted to bring it out because it's like, oh, we have someone who's being sneaky right now in the BookTube games. Way to go. My mind just went blank. Let's see, what else can we cover for the next 10 minutes before this ends? I wonder who scored the most. That's what I would like to know. I know it's not me. I would also like to know. I want to know how some people got like thousands. I mean, I can understand getting 1,000 or 2,000 pages in one day, but like every single day, there were some people who were constantly getting 1,000 pages. I just, I don't know how you live that way. I've enjoyed reading more as I've gotten older, but I also like to live life too. Let's see, Kirdam. Okay, I want to see if I beat Katie, because she's our leader. Nope, she got me by almost 1,000 points. I led her for a while, but didn't end that way. So nope, Katie at Katie's Book Nook beat me. Ah. Top chats. So yeah, so this summer I heard something about another BookTube games being started again, and I think they're gonna do a superhero theme. And I think somehow you have to take like a test, so we can't actually choose which team we want to play on. We just get paired up to what team fits our needs the best. So that's going to be very interesting. I'll look into it once it's done. I think some people want to do it every like season, but I think there's such a thing as doing it too much and killing the joy that's there. But I like having it once every 6 months. I'm nervous for that one. LOL. I like to be in control of whatever team. Yeah, me too. I'm a little bit nervous myself. And again, that's just what I heard. It's not set in stone yet. So, but yeah, superhero themes, I like that a little better. So that's going to be fun. Get the Avengers, the Justice League, the X-Men, the Looney Tunes. They should just have like one group of like comical superheroes, which I guess superheroes are supposed to be comical, but like ones that shouldn't even be there. Like the Powerpuff Girls. You could have the Powerpuff Girls. That would be perfect. Which was, okay, let me ask this to the audience. Which was your favorite booktuber to follow during the games? Because I had a few. I can't actually think of which one was my specific favorite right now, but what were some of, okay, what were some of your favorite booktubers to follow during the games? Because for me, it was Maya Rose was one of them. Kim at Bookhaven did a few BookTube related games. So those are the first two that come to mind right off. Read by Marta. She's a Spanish booktuber who was a lot of fun. And of course, Katie at Katie's Book Nook. I forgot our team leader already. Katie at Katie's Book Nook was also a lot of fun. Mayona, she's 100% great. She was a lot of fun too. She's the one who basically put this all together. She had help, but I think she was the original one who got it all together. Obviously, JG, because she was on my team. Yeah, is that the awkward bookworm? Because I think I not only follow her, I think I gave her one of my books actually in the mail to review it on YouTube. It hasn't been done yet, but she has it on her bookshelf, if that's the one I'm thinking of. Yes, the awkward bookworm. Yes, she is awesome. She's a lot of fun. I love her little ice cream music at the beginning. She else we got? Oh, there's also Hello Katrina. She was pretty cool. Her husband was amazing. He would just pop into the videos every once in a while and it would become Comedy Central each time. He was very he had it. He had that special camera performance. And it's funny because it was on Hello Katrina's BookTube channel. If you see one of her latest videos, you'll see what I mean. But yeah, those are my favorites. 5 minutes left until the end. So yes, the BookTube games are finally coming to an end. But it was fun. I really enjoyed this wild ride of emotions. We're going to have to find out if it really ends tonight or tomorrow. I'm pretty sure it's tonight, but I will check with my team leader to make sure. So are there any final questions that you want to ask before I shut this down? And move on and get to bed because it is late. I will give 1 more minute. If there's no more questions, then I'll shut off a few minutes early, which I don't think will cause too much disaster because it's only a few minutes. And when there's no questions or nothing to go off of, it's best to end. 30 seconds remaining. Gotta think of it fast, Icy Reads. Time is running out. You've got 20 seconds now, Icy Reads. What are you going to read next? I'm going to finish Almost Normal by Isla Ray. And then after that, I'm going to go to... Okay, I got a question. Yeah, I'll wait to shut down for you to ask your question. And then after that, I'm going to read Crooked Kingdom. And then it's done. It's okay. I'll wait for you, Icy Reads. You can retype it a second time. I'm not going to change... I'm not shutting this down without you, so don't panic. Just type out your question, and now that you're asking questions, it's got 3 more minutes left anyways. This may be the final question for the night, though. So make it a good one, Icy Reads. Make it a good one. I brought this Sprite with me. Never drank it. Not going to drink it. Swag. Yes, thank you. I appreciate that, actually. That was my question. How is swag a question? Swag is not a question. Swag is like, yo, swag. That's swag. Swag is not... I'm pretty sure swag is not a question. Just saying. Just saying. You people. What's your favorite color? My favorite color is red, and the complementing color, I think that goes best with it, is black. So red and black are my 2 favorite colors, but I think red is just a little bit more so for me. The colors of evil. I like yellow and gray. That's an interesting combination. I like yellow too. I like gray, obviously. But yellow and gray. I guess they wouldn't really conflict each other because gray kind of goes with anything. No, the one you answered. Wait a minute. Oh, I was going to say, how is swag a question? Oh, what are you going to read next? Okay, so you were just saying of the question that you had before. Okay. So yes, that one was my bad. Sorry, Icy Reads. All right, well, we are running out of time. So thank you for the 2 people who stayed until the end. Thank you, Kim, for staying on earlier. And I think I had someone else hop on at the very beginning. So thank you to all who supported me through this wild ride. The BookTube games are finally coming to an end, but I had a wonderful time, and I look forward to it in 6 months. So on that note, this is Project Kyle signing off.